This is an interesting one. Monolith Mystery resurfaces as new structure shows up in Wales.
That's some good news on that front.
You remember this big thing that was going on, Gretchen?
Wasn't that also in Utah?
Well, that was in, I think, the America Southwest. I think Arizona, maybe New Mexico, maybe Utah. I forget exactly. But maybe you're right. Maybe it was Utah. But these things were popping up. I think there were 2 to 3 of them that were making the news. And they were just these big, all glass or reflective monoliths out in the middle of nowhere. But somehow they made it on social media. And this was right before the pandemic, I believe.
I thought it was during.
Okay, well, okay. Maybe you're right. 4 years on from the appearance of several mysterious monoliths, another has suddenly shown up on a Welsh hill. Back in 2020, we covered the unexplained appearance of, you're right, 2020. Back in 2020, we covered the unexplained appearance of various monolith-like structures and locations all across the world, ranging from Romania to the Isle of Wight to the United States of Utah and California. Okay. At the time, the mystery made headlines and left social media users scrambling to find answers.
Scrambling. Oh, my God!
I mean, I don't know if it was that bad, but there certainly was some commotion. People were,
what the fuck?
This latest monolith, which was spotted at Hay Bluff near Hay on Wye at the weekend, resembles a block of steel approximately 10 feet high and is situated out in the middle of nowhere. And this is, it looks like a pretty solid piece of construction right there. I thought it looked a bit bizarre and might be a scientific media research thing collecting rainwater. That's what it says here. That's a quote in the article.
We could put this on the Titanic.
But then realized it was too tall and strange for that. Then I went up to it, and it was about 10 feet tall at least, and triangular, definitely stainless steel. It was hollow, and I imagined pretty light enough for 2 people to carry it up and plant it in the ground.
He just said he imagines it's pretty light, and then he gives a specific, 2 people can carry it.
Why don't you push it over if it's so light, and then pick it back up?
Why don't you pick it up yourself, you wiener?
Take it home. Make it some dinner. Hang out with it.
Put it in your yard.
Yeah, put it in your... This is mine now.
My monolith.
This is my monolith.
I found it.
Go find your own. As things stand, no one knows who put it there or why. All that can be determined is that it must have been set up relatively recently because, according to Haynes, he runs a similar route on a regular basis, and this is the first time he has seen it there. Okay.
Was this guy the keeper of the mountain?
I guess so. He's keeping track of everyone who comes and goes. All monoliths that are erected. He understands when they go up and when they come down.
This is the sort of guy who sits on his front porch and watches the kids. Hey!
Yeah,
hey!
He does.
What are you doing over there?
He's a busybody.
I'm watching you kids. Is that a monolith?
Yeah, I remember that. I thought that it was determined that this was some sort of art project back then. But maybe that was just a guess. That was the speculation. That it was some sort of art piece. There was some bigger meaning that we just couldn't figure out. But it was during the pandemic when a lot of goofy stuff was going on. The early days of the pandemic when a lot of goofy stuff was going on. Maybe there's some deeper meaning here. We just can't know.
I want to know, is this the same monolith? Did it suddenly move from wherever it was in Utah to Wales?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't think so. Not unless it booked itself a cruise and went over there.
On the Titanic too?
Well, it's not built yet. It couldn't be on Titanic.
Maybe it's a time-traveling monolith.
Highly doubtful.
Maybe somebody left this one out in the rain. It got wet. It made another. Is that right? No. Yeah, it got wet. It made another one.
Well,
and if you feed it after midnight, it becomes an evil monolith.
It sounds like Gremlins or Gremlins 2.
That's where most of my biology knowledge comes from.
Most of my news comes from Gremlins.
Most of my understanding comes from Gremlins.
All right, I got one. Well, I got a few more stories. Got time.
Got more than that.
Yeah, I got time. Scientists just got a little closer to creating artificial life in a lab.
That's good news.
Oh, we already had that.
Yeah, I thought this is kind of like been a thing for a while. Maybe this is a different type of artificial life. Well, we'll find out. Controversial theory posits that life began when RNA spontaneously began to replicate itself, and now researchers are claiming they have replicated part of that process in a lab.
Oh, really?
In interviews with the Washington Post, scientists say they've created an RNA molecule that made copies of other types of RNA, which gets its experts ever closer to creating the conditions for early life in a lab. If you believe that kind of thing.
Well, they're going to talk about what is it? The primordial
primordial soup. Yeah, the
and
stew.
then hitting it with electricity, which creates amino acids, and that's the building block of life, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Because I remember that from like the 70s. So.
Well, they're doing this in a lab now. That's the difference. Like the Salk Institute for Biological Studies, their scientists worked from the theory that before there was DNA or proteins, RNA existed as initial ingredients in the so-called primordial soup. As part of their research, the Washington Post reports they created a lab-made RNA molecule that accurately copied others and resulted in a functioning enzyme. Is this important? Is it?
Does anyone care?
Yeah, does anyone care about this?
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
If RNA is created that is able to replicate itself, the Salk president said, then it would be alive. Would it though?
I don't know. Consider like paramecium or something.
Yeah.
I think we should hand this off from the Jonas Salk Institute to the NIH and the EcoHealth Alliance and let Fauci fund it through a back door. That's because that will only be good.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, they're doing some weird stuff. Okay. Let's see here. Well, this is also a bit of a follow-up story. So hold on, people. This is a bit of a follow-up story for everyone. The world's most remote job where workers live alongside penguins is hiring again.
The post office one? Is it working at the post office in Antarctica?
Well, maybe. Remember, we speculated that Sam Tripoli and with Johnny Bravo, they were going to go down there and work. So maybe.
Yep.
But they're hiring again. Maybe it's a completely different position. Maybe this is janitorial staff and not the post office. But we'll find out.
Maybe it's the assistant postmaster. They got so much work, they need help.
The world's most remote job is up for grabs, but you'll need to be a big fan of penguins and not too bothered about personal space. The Penguin Post Office in Port Lockroy on Goyder Island off the Antarctic Peninsula is looking for 5 members.
5?
5-member staff to live there from November until March. So I guess
people.
Is that the summer season down there? I think it's the summer season down there.
Yeah, in the southern hemisphere, it's reversed.
Yeah.
Why do they need 5? There's not 5 people working at my post office.
That's a good point. They'll be tasked with a variety of responsibilities, including stamping around 80,000 pieces of mail, looking after items like an old wind-up gramophone, and cleaning up penguin crap. That's here.
Okay.
What's a gramophone?
It's an old-timey record player.
Oh, okay.
With the big RCA style, his master's voice picture, the big horn on the front of it.
Well, Port Lockroy, also known as Base A. Oh, I love Base A. Was set up in 1944 as part of a secret government mission to Antarctica. It was later named a historic site and Monument Number 61 in 1994 under the Antarctic Treaty. I mean, if you're into Antarctic conspiracies and you want to get down there, this would probably be a hell of a thing to do. What a life experience to go down there. Now, if I didn't have like such a good job and like all like my lovely wife and property, I would go down. If I was a single person, I would probably do this. It would probably be quite the experience.
No, especially cleaning up the penguin shit.
That's a bonus.
That's what happens to the last person who gets there. The first four are like, not it.
Since a team of British Antarctic Survey spruced up its buildings in the 1990s, it's been open for visitors each summer. Around 18,000 tourists make the journey each year on cruise ships.
All at once?
No, I think they span it out over time. Not at one time. I think there's not enough toilets to accommodate 18,000 people.
There's just a day marked on the calendar. Just like, you better get there early on Tuesday because woohoo!
It's quite the line for the post office.
That Titanic 2 shows up. 18,000 people all get off. Got to use the can.
But while it might
they all go through the gift shop and not buy anything.
That is true. There's browsing. I can get this cheaper at home.
I'll get it on Amazon.
While it might be fun to visit, conditions at the UK's most southerly public post office are harsh. Workers live together without modern comforts like running water, flushing toilets, or mobile phone signals. The only way to get in touch with the outside world is via satellite, which is only used for professional purposes. Well, that's every day. I got
bull crap.
I'm on TikTok 24/7.
Yes,
I'm on YouTube.
That's only for work.
I need it. It helps me keep my sanity.
Dave, it's my turn.
I have to watch Tim Pool live. He's on every night.
I love how they throw that in. It's only for work purposes.
Stop using all the bandwidth.
Because you know that's what people are going to do. They're just going to show up down there and get on the Instacams.
Instantly, you get down there. It's like, what's the Wi-Fi password?
You think they have Wi-Fi password on that?
I think it's the satellite phone, and not necessarily maybe it's a satellite uplink. You just get.
Well, logically, it's an uplink, and they just use it for whatever. But yeah,
do they offer Starlink down there?
Probably.
Do they offer Starlink in Antarctica?
Starlink map. What's that? There's a third-party map that traps where all the Starlink satellites are.
Availability and speeds. I got to go to starlink.com. Satellite map.space.
Yeah, that one. Antarctica, there are satellites over it, but I'm not sure it's really providing a whole lot.
Well, I'm not going to go down there without it. I don't think so, Gretchen. I think we're shit out of luck.
Well, how am I going to get TikTok at my new job at the post office scraping penguin shit off of the 18,000 tourists who shoot up from the Titanic 2?
I don't like this. This is bad mojo. A previous employee added, I think I just got really used to living in this wonderful environment here with all the penguins and the calm and the remoteness. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go back to living in London and having a tube and so many people around me. So we'll see. Okay. Well, just stay down. Why don't you just stay down there then if you like it so much?
Yeah, break that dude's leg. He stays there.
So speaking to the Washington Post, the chief executive of the United Kingdom Antarctic Heritage Trust, Camila Nicole, gave a clear picture of exactly what the job would entail. She said, living there is hard work. You might be working 12-hour days. There's not much time for rest and relaxation.
What are they doing?
What the
I don't understand what's taking up their time. There's no one down there.
According to her, most days include carrying boxes, buckets, and jerry cans through the snow and over slippery rocks. To who?
For what? Just for fun? Hey, move those boxes.
Why am I constantly carrying jerry cans? Who needs this?
I fill them up over there, I take them over there, and I dump them out.
I don't know where they go. Thousands apply each year.
Who's filling these up?
Whose water is this? Just keep carrying them every day.
Maybe that's why they need 5 people. They're all like working in rotations, and they like carry their jerry can over and set it down. There's a box to pick up. They pick up the box. They take the box over to the next guy.
How many boxes are down here? Who keeps making all the boxes?
Where are these boxes coming from? We tried burning some, but they came back.
Hopefuls must have the right to work in the UK, take medical tests, and spend 4 weeks training in Cambridge before heading out to their Antarctic adventure. She had
4 weeks training.
Yep,
All right,
4
so
weeks.
You pick up this box, you take it over there, you put that box down.
And then you put it down, and you go back and get another one.
You get another box. What happens to these boxes? It's none of your business.
Don't worry about it.
That's classified.
Focus on the box in front of you, not what's behind you.
Don't worry about the other boxes. You worry about that box.
Quote, we're looking for people who are fit and resilient and really love meeting people and carrying boxes.
And scraping up penguin shit.
We are looking for a team. 4 people who can survive and work together. What happened to the fifth fifth person?
They don't talk about the fifth guy anymore.
Is it scaled back already?
We had to kill him.
You lost him. He carried a box somewhere and he never came back.
He asked too many questions about the boxes. There never was a fifth guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
The roles also have been advertised on social media. We look forward to many more years of working closely together and ensuring the preservation of Base A, which only has 4 people there.
There's only ever been 4. Why are there 5 beds? Get out of here. Ask another question, they'll see there will be only 3 people there.
From counting penguins to sorting mail at the world's most southernmost post office, working at the Port Lockroy in Antarctica is a job like no other. So there you go, people. You can apply. The deadline is March 18th. So there you go.
March 8th. That's like in 5 days.
You don't got a lot of time to get that 4-week of training in.
Well, I assume that would be on the job training, or do I have to be trained before I apply?
Yeah, you're right. Probably afterwards. I'm not going to do that.
I don't know. Maybe that's how they eliminate people. Are you trained? Do you know how to pick up a box? I don't know anything about that.
It's outside my skill set.
I'm curious why they kept saying it's so busy. What the hell is happening down there?
I don't know.
Are they all mailing each other letters?
And 12-hour days, I mean, it just seems excessive for what's going on down there. It just seems like there's something else going on.
This doesn't add up. Yeah. Is it because these guys are working 12-hour days and in shifts to fight back the opening to the hollow earth or something? Is that what's happening?
Or is it because it's down there and 12 hours is longer because you're in the Antarctica and time?
That's not how time works.
And time stretches differently down there.
Your job is to keep the ice wall clean. Penguins shit all over it.
You're constantly shitting on the ice wall.
Get off the ice wall. Don't look over that edge. There's a bunch of turtles down there. Turtles and elephants all the way down.
No, Chris. Let's go over to you and see what kind of news you got over there. I'm kind of curious.
Give me some alcohol!
I do have some bird poop news, which we can go to. But first, let's do some follow-up news from a story that we covered just last show.
Oh.
And we had some people in the chat asking about it.
Did the couple from the bathroom wedding get divorced already?
They had a bathroom divorce.
Oh, I see. Here we go.
No, this was about the people who were. I'm not sure, were they protesting or were they protesting in support of the lack of Arby's in Toronto?
I think they were protesting in disappointment. They were disappointed that there was no Arby's in Toronto. But here's the follow-up right here on the screen, people. Hundreds showed up to support Ontario's Arbys Army gathering.
That's some good news on that front.
Arbys Army, they converged. And they look like some mean mofos, that's for sure. You don't want to mess with that.
Send them all to Ukraine.
I see some guys wearing camo. They're wearing some tactical vests.
But there's nobody in a tactical. I'm looking at the picture here.
I'm trying to punch it up for the people listening at home.
The guy you got a guy in the middle wearing a cowboy hat for some reason. The guy on the right with his parachute pants. What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know about that. That looks like he could be part of the Wendy's crew trying to horn in.
Edge it on the side.
Yeah. An Arby's location in Ontario was the site of an Arbys Army gathering of 200 strong, and the staff at the restaurant were all over it. What does that mean? The staff at the restaurant were all over. I don't know what that means. They loved it, or they're all over it. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think the staff was happy they were there, but that's just I don't. Whatever, Mr. Blog Toronto, Ms. Phoebe Knight. Well, it's 2024. I can't guess.
We remember they put out a Facebook call, and there were people, about 400 people, that said they were interested, and they only got 200. So about 50%.
Well, maybe
showed
because it is an army, and they probably it was a battle, so they lost 200 along the way.
I see. So 200 casualties.
200 good men and women died. So we could be
They
here
probably
today.
walked there. They did a horrific forced march to get to Ontario, and half of them they're literal along the road. Their bodies are still there.
Dropping by the roadside. Just roll them into the ditch. Keep going.
We'll bring them Arby's on the way back. That'll pep them up.
Put some horsey sauce under their nose.
The article goes on to say, who knew so many people loved Arby's? The Oshawa location of the fast food chain that notably has no locations in Toronto certainly had their meats cut out for them on Saturday, March 9th, when at least 200 fans of the chain showed up for a well-earned roast beef sandwich.
Hilarious.
No, you don't understand why they showed up. They showed up to stick it to the man because they were upset there's no Arby's in Toronto. They're pissed off at you for being in Ontario.
Yeah, what the hell?
The gathering was not a protest against the lack of Arby's. Wait, hold a second. The gathering was not a protest against the lack of a Toronto's Arby's location, as had been previously reported, but merely a massive get-together of people who simply wanted to get their hands on some seriously sought-after sandwiches. I disagree. Because are you telling me, like, everyone who was from the Toronto-based Arbys Army wouldn't have rather gone to a local location? This was a protest.
Yeah, it's a weirdly worded phrase.
You don't hear their screams of silence?
Screams of silence.
The collective of good, hardworking Arby's lovers was greeted with open arms by staff at the Tantaron Road location, who had dressed the restaurant up with balloons. Wow, they had balloons ready there for him.
I don't think I've got a balloon at Arby's. What the hell?
Yeah, no shit. That's a good point. They don't roll out that red carpet for anybody else.
Balloon.
Are they hoarding these balloons in the back?
Yeah, they had those just like stockpiled back there for just such an occasion.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to go out and special order these balloons for the Arbys Army. That's
there's a whole bunch of people coming. Open up the balloons.
Break out the balloons.
Quick.
The restaurant was also giving away merchandise like hats, tumblers, and aprons to excited patrons with a spinner game set up in the restaurant. Sounds dangerous.
That's not what that means.
You don't. Yeah, it's
Point out. It's coming around.
That's
They just turn loose one of their giant roast beef slicers.
Yeah.
They just let it go. This one's gas powered, so watch out.
It's like Woodstock if all the hippies were hungry Ontarians and Jimi Hendrix was a roast beef sandwich.
It's like Woodstock if it's like Woodstock if it was nothing but fat white people all crammed into a single Arby's.
Then it's just like Woodstock.
It's exactly like it. Who the hell would say? Was that from the author? Or was that a quote from somebody?
That was in the journalist wrote that. The Arby's journalist.
Because at Woodstock, famously, Jimi Hendrix was killed, sliced, and eaten. So.
He famously ate a roast beef sandwich while he was doing the Star Spangled Banner on stage. Everyone knows that story.
There's that picture of him sitting there. There's your show art, by the way.
Right before the rocket's red glare, he took a nice bite out of a fresh Arby's roast beef sandwich.
He had a guy back there cutting up a sandwich for him. Here you go, Jimmy. Just like you like it.
Just the way Mr. Hendricks likes it. He refuses to go on stage without his Arby's.
That's right. I'm not going anywhere without my big beef and cheddar. Wait, I think that's different. That's Wendy's.
Did I mention that the event also raised $1,200 for a local women's and children's shelter?
Wait, suddenly it was a charity thing?
I guess so. This event's too confusing. I don't know who I'm supporting.
Yeah, well, I wonder if maybe that's why their number went from 400 to 200. They weren't sure why they were going. Yeah, I hate Arby's. No, we're in support. Wait.
Once they found out they're supporting women and children, like, nah, fuck it. I ain't going.
I'm not going to support no shelter. I just want curly fries.
There's currently no word on when or where the next Arbys Army gathering will take place, but wherever it is, I might just be there. Clearly, I am doing something right. What does that mean? Clearly, I'm doing something right.
Says they're doing something right.
Oh, they're doing something right. Okay.
By the way, I feel bad for the guy who took the photo.
Yeah, he's not in the picture.
No, but of course. But look at the bottom; they give credit.
John Tard.
Wow, that's big.
That guy got bullied. You know he did.
John Tard is the person who took the photo or who owns the copyright to it.
Okay, buddy.
Now, I'm looking at this photo. I embiggened it. On the side, on the left side, they have a sign up, gong. What is this gong? Vote number 44, here to rescue Toronto. Gong. Is this some sort of political messaging as well?
Yeah, I don't know. Was there like a local candidate and he's supporting? His platform is nothing but Arby's.
Hey, so, yeah, did Gong, is this some sort of political...
It says here to rescue Toronto.
So did this candidate Gong rally the Arbys Army under the guise of love for roast beef? Only really the secret motivation was to get his name out there using the Arbys Army as a ploy, as a PR stunt.
So it says Zhao Hua Gong or Edward Gong is a candidate for mayor of Toronto. So I'm guessing, I don't see him in the crowd, though, based on the photo. So I'm guessing that some of his supporters were there, or did they just steal someone's signs out of their yard?
Yeah, this doesn't make a lot of sense.
During the forced march to Arby's.
Are we supposed to support Gong and women and children and Arby's in one event?
I don't know. This is a lot going on. I'm confused here.
Okay. All right. Well,
or maybe he just personally supports Arby's.
It's possible. I don't suppose they have any Arby's in China. Do they?
That is a good question.
Is that a question for ChatGPT or just Google Chat? I'm not sure.
I'm going to ask the internet, see if they have any in China.
I'm kind of curious about that. It's something I want to know if I travel overseas.
They expanded into North Africa, Saudi Arabia.
Nice.
I don't see any reference to China. So maybe, are you suggesting this is some sort of inside play?
I don't know. I don't want to make accusations.
Currently, restaurants in the United States, Puerto Rico, Canada, Costa Rica, Egypt, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, and Turkey.
Nice. Okay.
I am a little confused by a roast beef restaurant in Turkey.
A little weird, but... okay, Christian, what else you got over there?
Okay.
Let's get into trouble, baby.
Well, let me reach deep down into the crutched crevice here for a story. Copy the link. Why won't it copy the link? How about this story about poop?
Okay,
we're talking about penguin poop. So here's some more bird poop.
All right. Okay. Bring it up on the screen here. Villagers complain of pitter-patter of poo.
That's a funny headline.
Mm-hmm.
People in Lincolnshire village say that they are getting fed up with being splattered with bird droppings. Tens of thousands of starlings have been forming murmurations. Is that the proper term? Murmurations at sunset over Great Gonby near Gruntham for weeks. Just tell me where it's at instead of all this bullshit.
Everything's near.
It's close to the watershed near Great Gosby, right down the road from Somerset.
Near Port Lockroy by the post office.
Of course. You'll know it when you see all the boxes.
When you get to the jerry can, stop. You've gone too far.
The sight of the bird swirling overhead has wowed onlookers, but the aftermath has been described as a nightmare.
Oh, really?
One villager said everyone found it fascinating to start, to start with, but now they're fed up with it. Yeah, there's pictures, like a lot of birds up there. Well, I mean, there's solutions for this guy.
Buy a shotgun.
2 blasts.
That'll take them down. That'll take down at least 30 of those bad boys.
Fired 2 blasts outside the house.
That's why it's called birdshot.
Katie Emmett, who lives with their partner Drew and their 2 children, said the birds were becoming a big pain. Even just going out the front door, you end up with poo on your hands because it's all over the handles. Wear gloves.
Make your kids open the door.
Yeah, I don't care. In particular, it's a particular problem for their daughter who is blind. Put glasses on her. I don't know.
That's mean.
They're saying like I only have so many solutions. What am I supposed to do? Maybe the Arbys Army can get behind this kind of situation. I don't know. Call the Arbys Army. They can help you. Mr. Hammond said, we've had some banisters installed to help get up and down the steps in the front of a bungalow. She can't really touch it at the moment because every time we're touching it, we're getting bird poo on her hands. It's not enabled her to be free moving. He added the murmurations are a beautiful sight, but added the aftermath is terrible.
It's beautiful. Look out!
We hope it all disappears soon, he said. Oh, I see. He's hint, nudge, nudge. He's hoping someone comes and takes care of the problem.
Boy, I sure hope this goes away.
I hope someone does something around here about this thing.
Be a shame if someone showed up and fired a shotgun into them.
Another resident, Andrew, said, it's been a nightmare. I've had to get my bucket out 5 times. Was he collecting the stuff? I've run out of buckets to collect all the bird crap. I need more buckets. It's a nightmare. It's the droppings that have even dropped on people's heads, he said. Jonathan Brown has resorted to covering his car every evening to protect it from the birds. Quote, it's a pain, but it's whether you want to see out of your window in the morning. I don't know.
He's talking about the windows on his car.
He doesn't want to see bird poop on his car. He wants to see.
Otherwise, you got to get out there with your snow scraper and scrape bird shit off.
While frustrating for some, the sight of the murmurations often draws a crowd. However, Kieran Johnson said a few of those who gather to watch and take photographs expect the pitter-patter of poo. He added, it's fun to start with. It was great to watch, but it's just a mess. It's just a mess it makes. Okay.
Ew.
Okay. This guy looks happy about it, though. This guy on screen.
Where's the footage of these guys dive bombing and just carpet bombing like an entire street?
Yeah, why isn't there video of this? This seems like this would be great video. It's a really a missed opportunity. Is there a TikTok channel dedicated to just this?
It's all bird crap all the time.
That's what I want. Go to TikTok at bird crap.
So I'm digging for footage. There's footage of the murmuration, obviously, but there's not footage of the people being carpet bombed by bird crap.
Yeah.
Though in this article or in this little video I found, but it's just a murmuration, so it's not very interesting to. I mean, that is, but not for what we're looking for. It says the woman who filmed the aerial display can be heard in the footage saying an expletive and thanks. She said, I got a gift. One of them pooed on my shoulder. Hopefully it'll bring me some luck. Well, I'm not sure that's how it works.
I don't think luck works that way. You can't just say any bad thing that happens to you is good luck.
That's good luck to get pooped on.
Oh, a homeless man took a shit on my porch. I hope it's good luck.
Well, San Francisco is currently experiencing a murmuration of homeless men.
Yes.
They have to run around and not bump into each other and, in a vaguely organized fashion.
It's good luck.
And then they all jump up in a tree and crap on people walking by.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Hulk's there, too.
All right. Another headline, Chris, please.
Check it out.
All right. How about a movie trailer?
Oh, okay.
By the way, I forgot to credit, digging through here, On the Toronto Arbys Army story, credit to AFH in the Discord for digging up that one.
Thank you, big time. All right, another headline here.
All right, so this one is not so much goofball news or whatever. It's more follow-up news. We talked about this, and it seems to keep happening. So credit to who sent this one in, Jigs222. For some follow-up news that apparently Boeing is now covering up repairs they've made on their planes that are falling apart.
Oh boy. This kind of goes to, that Boeing whistleblower? Well, he suicided himself.
Damn it, I got that story too.
Well, we'll talk about that after this.
Let's talk about it next.
So here's a headline for people. Boeing erased video of workers fixing Alaskan Airlines door plug 6 months before it blew off mid-flight and have no records of repairs, that the repairs were done, claims NTSB.
That's a huge piece of news.
It is. How is Boeing continuing at this point? Boeing has erased security footage showing repairs being made to an Alaska Airlines flight months before the door plug blew out at 16,000 feet, sparking a massive federal probe into airline safety. So this is part of Pete Buttigieg's authority, right?
Yeah, that dude's he's on it. He's right there.
Poop Buttigieg.
Poop Buttigieg.
National Transportation Safety Board officials who are investigating the incident noted in a letter to the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation that the Boeing 737-9 underwent rivet repairs in September of 2023. The door plug flew out mid-flight over Oregon on January 5th and led to an emergency landing. The NTSB leader said the door plug that failed was open during the repair work months earlier, but Boeing had not been able to locate records of the work.
Or the door.
Yeah, did they ever get that door back? Because I'm going to need that door.
Yeah, we need that for an investigation. I think my phone's in the pocket. I need that back.
To date, we still do not know who performed the work to open, reinstall, and close the door plug on the accident aircraft. Boeing has informed us that they are unable to find the records documenting this work. Well, what if it was never done? Like, they're claiming it was done, but what if it was never done?
Oh, you think they're just submitting work order? Yeah, it was 7 hours for four of us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's billed and it's paid. A verbal request was made by our investigators for security camera footage to help obtain this information. However, they were informed that the footage was overwritten, which is likely. I don't know. I mean,
Would they use the same cameras from Epstein's jail cell?
Well, the footage, like...
it was off. Weird. I was broken.
I mean, that's a long time ago. So typically, like 90 days would be what you'd hold on to. But it's Boeing. You'd imagine in like instances of corporate espionage, you want to hold on to that footage as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And the absence of those records will complicate the NTSB's investigation moving forward. Let's see here. So rather than take the Boeing 737 MAX 9 out of service, the airliner decided that it should embark on three more flights the next day that would end in Portland, Oregon, the site of Alaskan Airlines maintenance facility. The New York Times investigation found that the airliner chose to keep the plane in service with hundreds of passengers despite the warning alerts, which the company insists may have been unrelated to the door plug blowing out.
Yeah, probably.
Now hey, look, here's the picture. They found the door.
They found a door?
Yeah, we don't know. It could be any Boeing plane. We don't know.
It's going to be some guys have a garage sale.
Man, that's my door.
Hey, how much you want for that plane door? $10.
I'd buy that. It'd be cool. Put it here in the studio.
It's like those old houses that you probably remember growing up when people had actual hubcaps on their cars, not like alloy wheels and stuff. And there's those houses that have like thousands of hubcaps. You can come in and try to find that matching because you're missing one.
It's classy.
So do you think Boeing like sends people out and they drive up and down the street looking for matching doors? Ooh, would that one fit? Try it.
Yeah, just, you got plenty of doors floating around. Try it on there. So this is concerning. And this is
well, and
article.
there's stories they mentioned the alerts here. There's stories about them having problems with pressurization on this particular aircraft. There's stories about them making sure it only flew limited routes that were within easy access to other airports if they did have an emergency. So it's almost like people knew something was happening with it, whether or not they knew it was this specific issue or what. But they clearly just kept flying.
Yeah,
I can fly. I'm pilot.
They asked that guy. Like, hey, Randy, what do you think about this?
You can do it. Let's see here. Okay, let's move on to the other one.
The whistleblower.
Yeah, the whistleblower. Yeah,
right.
We'll move over there.
Yeah. So speaking of Boeing, here's this.
Oh boy. Oh geez. Oh no. Screen is up on the screen. Boeing whistleblower John Barnett found dead in U.S.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
A former Boeing employee known for raising concerns about the firm's production standards has been found dead in the U.S. John Barnett worked for Boeing for more than 30 years before retiring in 2017. In the days before his death, he had given evidence in a whistleblower lawsuit against the company. Boeing said that it was saddened to hear of Mr. Barnett's passing.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's so bad.
I hope no other whistleblowers shoot themselves.
The Charleston County coroner confirmed his death to the BBC on Monday. It said the 62-year-old had died from a self-inflicted wound on the March 9th, and police were investigating. Mr. Barnett had worked with the U.S. plane giant for more than 30 years until his retirement. Let's see here. He also said he had uncovered serious problems with oxygen systems, which could mean one of 4 breathing masks would not properly work during an emergency.
I like those odds.
Yeah, it's not bad.
75% chance, you're good.
He said soon after starting work in South Carolina, he had become concerned that that the push to get new aircraft built meant the assembly process was rushed and safety was compromised, something the company denied. He later told the BBC that workers had failed to follow procedures intended to track components through the factory, allowing defective components to go missing. Well, good. You don't want those defective components. Let them go. Let them go missing.
Door plug. Hey, where'd that go?
Well, apparently they do. I mean, if they're not able to track work being done, they can't track the defective components. They got some serious issues.
Mm-hmm.
He said in some cases, substandard parts had even been removed from scrap bins and fitted to planes that were being built to prevent delays on production lines. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
And you honestly you see that with any large industry. I mean, you see that with electronics and stuff. They will ship broken stuff because they're shipping a certain amount, a certain number. They're meeting their numbers. If it's broken, well, that's a maintenance problem, and that's for the repair guys.
Yeah. Let's see. So Barnett said he alerted his managers to his concerns, but no action had been taken. Boeing denied this assertion. Of course, they're denying everything. Now, what about his death? His death comes at a time when production standards at both Boeing and its key supplier, Spirit Aerosystems, is under intense scrutiny. This follows an incident in early January when an unused emergency exit door blew off a brand new Boeing 737. We just talked about.
Yeah.
It doesn't go into his death at all. I believe they found a suicide note. That's what they claim.
Let's see. I'm looking for stuff that was from today because that story was initially from Monday, I think, or Tuesday. Don't sign anything about a note.
I swear to God, I saw something today about a note.
What about a manifesto? Do you have a manifesto that the police won't release?
I don't think he had that. I don't think he had anything about. I swear to God, I'm looking.
So I'm looking through Fortune. I'm looking through, what's this one? Is this New York Times, Associated Press? I'm not seeing anything.
Can't believe you committed suicide.
Oh, that's what his brother said.
Yeah.
Can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide? I can't help you out of this one, Jim. With all we've been through...
It's John, not Jim.
Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye.
So there is a statement from his brother. John was deeply concerned about the safety of aircraft and the flying public. He had identified some serious defects he felt were not adequately addressed. He said that Boeing had a culture of concealment and was putting profits over safety. He was suffering from PTSD and anxiety attacks as a result of being subjected to the hostile work environment at Boeing, which we believe led to his death. Now, by that statement, does he mean the hostile work environment or Boeing?
I bet he's getting harassed.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
He's getting harassed.
So if anyone, just related thing, if anyone wants to read a, almost a 30-year-old book at this point, but dang, it was the Michael Crichton book, Airframe. Same sort of thing where they were investigating a crash and problems with a major airline manufacturer and people harassing and death threats and all sorts of stuff going on there. So it's not impossible that this sort of thing was going on because in theory, if he raises enough issues, they could shut down work, people be out of a job, etc. So it, only makes sense. But then for the fact this guy, while he's in like the middle of giving testimony on stuff, suddenly shows up dead in his car is just a kind of a weird timing on that.
Yeah. Yep.
It says John was in the midst of a deposition in his whistleblower retaliation case, which was finally nearing the end. He was in very good spirits and looking forward to putting this phase of life behind him and moving on. We saw no indication he would take his own life. No one can believe it. I believe it's still his brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're devastated. We need more information about what happened to John. Charleston police need to investigate fully and accurately and tell the public what they find out. No detail can be left unturned.
Good. I'm glad the families are up in arms about this.
Mm-hmm.
Very concerning. Very concerning.
Boeing immediately responded with comments said, we got like 3 alibis where we were on that day.
We didn't do it.
Yeah.
We're fixing a door.
We're busy putting doors back on planes.
All right, let's do 1 or 2 more.
All right.
What do you want here?
Well, let me give you some headlines. We got shocking video showing zookeepers attempting to escape a gorilla enclosure.
I saw that one. That was interesting.
I did mention this one last time. Wisconsin man arrested for allegedly stealing $90,000 in calculators.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one.
You know that one?
Yeah.
Right. And then one that may just be up your alley because it talks about cybersecurity, the agency itself being hacked.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
All right, so here is the dude stealing calculators because he's doing math or he's some sort of Batman villain. I'm not sure what's going on here.
He must know about some sort of market that we're just not aware of.
Hey, man, you want a calculator?
Like the hardcore calculator market out there.
Standing outside engineering schools. He's got a bunch of them in his coat. He's like, got calculators right here.
Hey, come on.
What do you need? A TI 81, 83? What do you want?
Oh, man, he's nothing but the best for him. All right, here it is up on screen. Wisconsin man arrested for allegedly stealing over $90,000 in calculators from Target stores across the U.S.
Look at this nightmare headline.
Oh, absolutely. It is a nightmare.
I'm sure that's a nightmare.
I guess it is for math nerds out there who rush to Target every day to get calculators.
Where's my calculator? We're out.
Buy a calculator today.
You think this guy's trying to single-handedly corner the market?
Yeah. He's trying to get a monopoly going.
He's going to open his own store. Nothing but calculators. $1,000.
Wisconsin man has been arrested for allegedly stealing $90,000 worth of calculators from Target stores across Indiana and several other states. Oh, this interstate calculator theft.
Oh, this guy's going
The
big.
feds are involved now.
That's right. That's a federal crime.
Frank Covington, 33, of Wisconsin, was arrested over the weekend and charged with several felonies after police discovered over 20 graphing calculators allegedly stolen from the Indiana-based Target store in the back of his car, according to arrest records. What are they, gold-plated? Come on. I mean, there's only 20 of them. So how much is a graphing calculator? $100?
I don't think they're even that much.
Yeah. Just before 10 a.m. on Sunday, officers with the Fisher Police Department were called to the Target store for a theft in progress. Shortly after, a car matching the suspect's description and being driven by Covington was pulled over by police. Sounds like profiling. This is just a math enthusiast who they just so happen to pull over.
They pulled him over. Hey, got any calculators in there? You look like you're doing math.
Well,
doing some equations there, son. What you got going on?
While officers were detaining Covington, they reported finding a magnetic device often used in retail thefts inside his pants pocket. But that was just
is this magnetic device called a magnet?
Could have been a credit card.
I think they're talking about those little tabs to get off of retail packages.
Oh, sure.
You can just that's the joke of it in department stores. You can go down to the hardware aisle and get a magnet and come back and take that shit right off.
Inside his car, though, Gretchen, police found 26 graphing calculators, a large amount of unused Target bags, a stack of cards with Target aisle numbers listed, and a receipt from Target in West Milwaukee. See, a receipt. This guy is buying calculators.
Well, he said he had cards with locations within the...
Yeah, he's a collector.
Sounds like he's taking orders from somebody.
It might be.
I need 2,000 calculators by Thursday.
Well, this is curious.
What's this guy up to?
Is there like some sort of specific component in these graphic calculators that can be used for bombs or something like that?
I think he's up to some no good. This guy is building some sort of super weapon.
I'm thinking something more devious here. Like they can't buy this hypothetically. This is a criminal organization, and they need specific types of computational chips, but they don't want to buy it, or it has to be such a specific type that they need it for out of graphing calculators. And they can't buy them because it would spark some sort of like flag. It would make a flag happen.
You think he's mining Bitcoin with these?
No, I don't think so. Now, officers stated that Covington admitted that the calculators were stolen and that he'd taken them from multiple Target stores. He told officers he didn't want to talk about how he ended up in Indiana and that he was driving a rental car. This guy's in deep into something.
Yeah, something that just gets weirder every sentence.
The National Records check also revealed that Covington had an active warrant for his arrest in Wisconsin. He was taken into police custody and told officers he collects calculators but didn't know where he kept them before requesting a lawyer. Classic. He's a calculator collector, kind of like me. I do the same thing.
How many did he have on him when they stopped him?
26.
That's not very many. Where did $90,000 come from?
Officers later spoke with Target's loss prevention program, who said Covington was a suspect in multiple thefts from Georgia to Indiana in recent days. He reportedly stole calculators from several other Indiana's Target locations. According to Target's records, in total, Covington is suspected of stealing $90,000 worth of calculators from Target stores across the United States since December 2021. Covington's criminal history showed that he has 2 misdemeanors and 2 felony charges for theft, robbery in Georgia, Ohio, and Illinois and Wisconsin. Interesting. So what is the market for this? You just go turn around on he's not selling them to gangs to make bombs, but he's just selling them on eBay for $20, $30.
So
if who really uses graphic calculator? You just get that stuff on your phone now, right?
Well, not if for testing, it's still required to be a dedicated device like that. I found a follow-up story that said that 2 men arrested in Minnesota, and police say it's now a theft ring because they found 2 other guys with $5,000 worth of calculators. What is going on?
It's just curious.
The men are the latest to be arrested in the United States on suspicion of stealing the pricey programmable graphing calculators. The devices, which can cost as much as $170, are required for high school and college students enrolled in math courses.
Okay.
What are you, a college boy or something?
Yeah. Gotta learn something, man.
I bet you think you're pretty smart, huh? You a college boy or something? Huh?
In January, man arrested in Indiana town of Fishers. Police found 23 TI-84 plus CE calculators, plus 2 TI-84 plus calculators, and 1 TI-84 Inspire CX2 calculator. But these calculators were just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow. This is a big deal.
What is going on here? In 2023, New York police were searching for teenagers suspected of sneaking into Bronx schools and taking more than $40,000 worth of calculators. This sounds like there's a concerted effort to stop people from doing math.
Yeah, they don't like it. Stop it.
So I suspect we'll hear more about this calculator theft ring.
I would imagine so. Okay, Cratchit, let's do one more quick one.
All right.
I'm going to teach you a lesson in manners.
Right. I mean, I guess you could. All right, I got 3 stories for you to choose from here. We got the Philadelphia Phillies are ending $1 hot dog night following unruly fan behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So if you people can't behave,
we're stopping everything. We're turning this car around.
I'm taking these hot dogs home.
Let's do that. That sounds a good one.
All right. Well, we also have one on Loch Ness Monster and one on free food for St. Patrick's Day.
Nope. Philly food.
All right. You want $1 hot dogs.
Philly's a town that greases poles. Remember that?
They do. And they also stop people from climbing up utility poles during celebrations.
Yeah, they grease poles and take hot dogs away. People don't learn in Philly.
We warned you. You couldn't behave yourselves. All right, here you go. The Phillies say no more $1 hot dogs.
All right.
Which, by the way, we did a story on the guy who ate nothing but Costco hot dogs, which I believe were $1.50. He could have saved 33% on his spending by eating only Philadelphia Phillies $1 hot dogs.
Yeah, he had to go every game. Every time he wanted to eat, he had to buy a ticket to the game.
Or he just jumped the fence.
The Philadelphia Phillies are scrapping the $1 hot dog nights following unruly fan behavior.
This headline says it all.
Play the nightmare headline one. That was better.
Okay, maybe it is. Maybe this is a nightmare headline.
Look at these headlines.
Wait.
Look at this headline.
Yeah.
Look at these headlines.
Wait.
Nope.
Look at this nightmare headline.
How many headline things do you have?
I got a few. For more than a quarter century, Philly fans considered dollar hot dog night among the best ballpark promotions, but the team has now decided it was the worst.
Oh, God. It's going to be one of those articles.
Yes, it is.
What'd you do?
Oh, here's another one coming right up.
Those dog days of April when Philly weather is cold and the wieners are a steal are gone. The Phillies officially ended their popular promotion Thursday and replaced the dollar dogs on select dates with a 2-for-1 deal at 2 April games at Citizen Bank Park. The statement from the team said the change was made based upon the organization's ongoing commitment to provide positive experience for all fan attendance. I mean, they're losing money on this.
Well, maybe, but to your point earlier, even if they sell them for $1 at a loss, you still have to buy a ticket for what's a ticket to an MLB game these days? Even the cheap seats up top.
That'd be $50.
Yeah, you're probably $50-$60 just to get in.
What wasn't positive about the dollar hot dog night? Armed with projectile frankfurters, some unruly Philly fans began chucking their favorite Hatfield meats during the game last year.
Throwing them back out on the field.
I like it. And the dogs soared like cans of corn through the stands and onto the field.
Soared like cans of... What the hell does that mean? It literally says that. The dogs soared like cans of corn throughout the stands.
That's what yeah.
Like the good old days when you throw corn at somebody.
When you're upset at a player and you chuck a can at his head.
I take a can of corn with me every game.
I bring canned soup to the game so I can throw them at the players.
I'm going to bean that guy on third base. He's not stealing again.
I like to go to the bullpen and chuck cans of food down at the pitchers.
At the relief pitchers. Take this, you bastards.
Clock him on the head.
I get thrown out, but it's worth it.
The
Dude needs a ramp now.
The demand for the discount dogs also led to clogged lanes, if not arteries, on the concourse, and the cramped spaces led to security and safety concerns. On April 11th, last game of the season, it turned into Philly's food fight Phillies food fight when fans largely good-natured tossed their ballpark franks in several sections, leading to multiple ejections. Well, you can get thrown out of games for that? Wow. It wasn't just throwing, said John Weber, senior vice president of Phillies ticket operations. It's the concourse, the crowd of everybody being, the crowds of everyone being at the same X amount of stands. But obviously, the throwing was a little bit of a tipping point. Yeah, that was a complete tipping point. They didn't want their wieners being thrown around their ballpark.
You stop playing with your wieners.
The company said ahead of the 2022 World Series, when the Phillies played the Houston Astros, that 1 out of every 3 fans eats a hot dog at Citizen Bank Park, and an average of 6,951 hot dogs were sold per game, enough to line in Ashburn Alley 5 times. What does that mean?
I'm not. Where are you in the article?
I mean, I don't know. It's down there. I'm just down there.
I'm not following on. I'm digging, trying to find out how much a Phillies ticket is for the cheap seats.
Yeah. Let's see. Hopefully our fans will still come out and view 2 hot dogs for $5 as a value and support the team in those 2 April dates that we have. All right.
But so Ashburn Alley, that's referring to the place outside the stadium's named for Richie Ashburn.
Yes. That's where you go pee when all the bathrooms are
when the
are
bathrooms
filled
are
up.
full. You go over there and you pee on the fence out there.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's get tickets. This is all spring training. I don't want spring training. I don't want opening day either. It's going to be too expensive. Let's go into April. April 11th.
Come on.
Phillies versus Pirates.
Yep. Cheap seats.
Let's see. Lowest price, $15.
I'll give you $10,000.
And that is way up there. That's surprisingly affordable. You want to take your family to the game? Well, no more dollar hot dogs, but.
Oh, no.
Let's see. They say up to $95 for single tickets closer down behind. So here's one behind first base. $85.
Old hot dogs.
So that's pricey. I mean,
hot dogs.
You can no longer take, the wife and both kids to the Phillies game and sit down front because that's going to cost you $500.
But I decided the time had come to overcome my lifelong fear. Hot dogs. I hated what liquor had done to Roger Clinton.
Don't you have that entire thing about like his hot dog being born?
Yeah.
Soon after we arrived, we learned Hillary would have to give birth by cesarean section because the hot dogs was in breech, upside down in the womb, and that they could cut Hillary open from head to toe and I wouldn't get sick or faint. At 11:24 p.m., I held Hillary's hand and looked over the screen blocking her view of the cutting and bleeding to see the doctor lift our hot dogs out of her body. It was the happiest moment of my life. Our little hot dogs was a healthy 6 pounds, 1 3/4 ounces.
That's a big
While
hot
Hillary
dog.
was in the recovery room, I carried hot dogs out to Mother and anyone else who was available to see the world's most wonderful hot dogs.
Check out this hot dog.
Check out this hot dog this Hillary gave birth to.
Look at that. That's $1.
We need to get our game face on.
Not the Phillies park. Not there.
Still curious about those calculators. Something's up with that.
Yeah, I agree. Doesn't seem good. Doesn't seem right.
He's up
Thank you, everyone.
Up to no good.
Thank you, everyone. This is all the news that you need to know. You can kind of understand what's going on in the world by everything you heard this show. We'll be back on Saturday, I believe. And if you would, check out the description in this podcast. I'll leave a link. Go report that person who has my wife's Facebook. I'll leave a link in there. Go report him, please. If you have Facebook, report him. Help us because it's very annoying, and I want justice. I demand justice.
If you can hire a team of like former Vietnam veterans to track them down.
I'd like to. But until then, you can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com and support the show that way. Or go to the nakedgardener.us. I'll leave a link to that. Go buy some tea. buy some tea. She's got some great tea. The Beam Me Up is the most popular out there, but she has some other Moon Mother. Moon Mother is a good tea as well. So go buy some tea. Go buy a lot of it, please. And pool of blood.
In a pool of blood.
Don't do it in a pool of blood. Make sure you don't slip and fall. Don't do that. Let's see. I don't think I have any more proclamations or anything.
You can join the Discord.
Oh, yeah. You can join the Discord by
Patreon,
joining Patreon.
Pay $1 or $1,000, up to you. Somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
Join the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Nancy?
She's in the Discord.
I started watching that Shogun miniseries on FX Hulu. Mm-hmm. It's very well shot. If you're a big fan of like Game of Thrones kind of stuff, man, that Shogun show.
Well, you know that's a book, right?
I don't read that kind of stuff.
Book. It's like a paper TV you can read.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Famously,
well,
a book and a previous series there too.
Oh, thank you, Cratchit, and thank you, Joe. We'll talk to you next time. Shop go, everyone.
Keep watching the skis for $1 hot dogs.
Throw it all.
To make it bigger. Science.
Stop it.
Let's just keep going.
I take classified documents, classified material seriously.
Transgender. I'm gay.
That's about all.
Shablagu. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.